So today we are really excited to have PROCON Pumps join us for this webinar. We are going to talk about global e-commerce on Znode today. A couple housekeeping items. As always, this webinar will be recorded. Those people that signed up for the webinar will receive a copy of this video recording after the webinar by email. We also do have a YouTube channel, so you can go to YouTube, search for Znode, and you'll see customer stories on the YouTube channel. You can, at that point, click on those videos and you can watch this webinar and all of the other customer webinars that we've had over the course of this year. Final housekeeping item is questions, Q&A. In Zoom, there is a bubble for Q&A. Feel free to go to the Q&A bubble if you have any questions. Ideally, we are going to hold all questions and answers to the end of the webinar just for the sake of time. And again, we try and shoot for 20 to 30 minutes total to get the webinar complete. So with that, let's make some introductions. Shankar and Lee, welcome. Great to have you with us today. We're really excited for the webinar. And why don't we just jump into direct introductions? And Shankar, do you want to lead off and give a little bit of background on who you are and your role at PROCON Pumps?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. So my name is Shankar Suman. I have been with PROCON for about 13 years now. And I started as an engineer and I have moved into different roles from engineering to marketing. And currently I hold the position of, I manage the sales in APAC and Middle East. And I also oversee the customer service, which is based off here in Smyrna, and which supports mostly the Americas and Asia Pacific.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Lee, you want to jump in?
Sure, of course. My name is Lee Knowles. I'm the Global VP of Sales and Marketing for PROCON. I've been with the company just over 5 years and basically started the marketing department at PROCON. And this is the final leg of that. We started with, teaching the sales team how we like to sell. And then we went on to a pricing program. We came out with a brand new catalog. And now we're going to e-commerce and the website. The website had not been updated since the late 90s. So Znode really brought us into the 21st century.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to hear that story today. And welcome, everyone. My name is Tom Flirrell. I am the Chief Commercial Officer at Ecommerce, the parent company of Znode. And as most of you know, we also have another product called Artify, which does product customization online. But today we are going to talk about Znode, and more importantly, we're going to talk about PROCON Pumps. So Lee, Shankar, if you can, why don't you just start off at a high level and tell us about PROCON as a company? I know you're a manufacturer, your business model, how you go to market, and a little bit of background to get everybody up to speed on your company.
Sure. So PROCON is a division of Invest Industrial. That's a European investment and advisory group headquartered in London. We're part of the pumps division, which includes brand names like Cheme, ODE, ACL, Ulca, and now PROCON. We're a global, leading global manufacturer with locations in US, Mexico, Ireland, and we also have a licensed partner in Japan. And that's how we go to market around the world with our different locations. PROCON supports OEMs in various industries from beverage and reverse osmosis water to medical and industrial applications by manufacturing many styles of positive displacement pumps, motors, and pump and motor combinations. So we are the pump within the system. We provide new pumps to manufacturers and end users for systems that require transferring clean liquids at pressures of up to 300 PSI and flows of up to 11 gallons per minute. So rather small pumps, but powerful pumps.
And so in your sales model, you sell aftermarket parts direct, but you also sell through distributors, correct?
That's correct. So PROCON ships to 70 plus countries around the world, both directly and through a wide distributor network. However, we needed a place for the end user to quickly find our pumps and easily purchase them. And that's why we were really excited about Znode and the e-commerce platform.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
PROCON. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, that's a good segue. If you want to talk about why Znode and go a little bit into your e-commerce journey, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So PROCON required an e-commerce platform to centralize our over 7,000 SKUs and structured data built into families while uniquely applying them to different storefronts. i.e. we have a different storefront for Europe that supplies mostly the Europe and the Middle East and some of Asia, and then the US, which mostly supplies North and South America and Asia as well. So we have two different storefronts. We also had to deal with dual currency. PROCON was seeking to personalize business for buyers by accommodating language, currency, payment methods, and product assortment that varied by region. In North America, we sell in USD, while in Europe, the site is in Euro. Another thing that Znode did for us was tax complications. We needed to address the tax complexities of an international business model, as well as the payment processing demands of multinational operations. For example, within the US, there are tax exempt states and different taxes by state. Some states calculate tax before shipping costs, some after, and still others don't charge tax at all. And in Europe, there are different tax codes based on the type of product and the country that is either shipping from or shipping to. And all of these stipulations are automatically calculated once you integrate Znode into your tax calculator. In our case, we use Avalara.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
say that is an Avalara process, but obviously very complex. And I believe we even use the Znode Avalara VAT tax portion of Avalara, if you will, or module for PROCON globally, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And it was fortunate for PROCON because Avalara is also our vehicle for our ERP system. So it worked very well to use the same module.
Nice, nice. Tell us a little bit more. I know you have engineers and technicians that are researching, but tell us about how you serve them on Znode.
Yeah, so the nature of our business is an engineered sale. So our target customers are engineers, technicians, and procurement managers. Engineers researching PROCON need the ability to see technical specifications, engineered drawings, and performance curves in order to make informed decisions. On the other hand, you've got procurement managers and service technicians purchasing directly from PROCON. They needed a way to quickly find the direct replacement pump that was suitable for their systems, or in the case of a procurement manager, just find the pumps that their OEM manufacturer needs to replenish. The model number anticipation feature that I'll go into later, along with the dimensional and application search options, allows our customers to merely type in their model number or specifications, and it narrows down that search option immediately. And we use a configurator to do that. It also allows us for personalization. Znode enabled personalization for PROCON's long-term plans, allowing PROCON to deliver catalogs, pricing, payment methods, and content by account. So in the future, what we want to do is go directly from the customer into our ERP system. So we'll be able to update those specific customer pricings and do the order from inception right through delivery. And they'll be able to track those through the website. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Also, scalability. Zenode's inherent scalability was a major improvement for PROCON. The Znode platform allowed us to refresh our image, provide specific product information, including technical drawings and information, flow curves, and implement a product configurator that I'll go into when I do the live demo, so that customers could find the correct product quickly in the sea of over 7,000 items, as I mentioned. And the biggest thing for us when it came to Znode was the way that they import all of the information, the PIM platform that we used. This decouples from inventory and pricing, and it gave PROCON the ability to build unique catalogs for regions, user profiles, and accounts that require specific product assortments. For example, PROCON sells more micro gear and micro vane pumps out of its Ireland facility to serve the espresso markets in Europe and the Middle East and Asia, while the North American site tends to sell more rotary vane pumps aimed at carbonation and circulation applications. So depending on which site you're on, it's going to steer you one way or the other. Not that you can't buy from the other site, but you have to think that now you're getting something from a different factory and overseas, and the lead times might change. So we reserve the right to be able to quote from either factory in that aspect. So the other thing is we needed to quickly change all the pricing with one upload. And that's the different pricing module that Znode allows for in USD and in euros. So whenever you have a price increase that you need to implement, maybe your costs went up, or maybe you need to improve your margins, you can change all of the pricing with one spreadsheet, and it's uploadable, which is outstanding.
That's awesome. And obviously in the future, you'll just have a direct connection with your ERP for pricing real time. You also hit on catalog management, which to me is probably one of the biggest requirements in true B2B e-commerce that's missed often. The ability to deliver the right assortment of products based upon either login, persona, or personalization, region, etc. So that's great. I know that you're anxious to give a demo. Do you want to actually, I'll stop sharing. Do you want to jump in here and take over?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here, make sure I share the right screen. There we go. Okay, so this is the PROCON website. As you can see, there's a menu bar across the top. You can search by products. You can search by industries. This gives you the most common pumps used in these types of applications. We have an innovations tab for our newest products. We also have education and support, anywhere from things like installation to frequently asked questions to what if I have a return that I want to do, or delivery, things of that nature, troubleshooting. Then we also have a distributor finder. So this lists all of the distributors worldwide, so you can find the distributor closest to you if you decide to go that route, or like I said, you can purchase directly from the website. So let me show you a little bit of how the model number anticipation feature works. So say I'm a service technician or I'm a procurement manager, and I have the pump that I want to replace in my hand, and it has the model number on there. I can start to type that in, and the feature, as you'll see, it says loading. It will go ahead and try to find that exact pump. So you can just click on and go right to that pump. Again, there's over 7,000 items in this, but Znode and the way that the anticipation feature works can get you right to the pump right away. So the pump comes up, and what you'll see, it's running a little slow, I think, because I'm on Zoom right now. Once the pump comes up, you can see all the certifications. You can see the product details, specifications, how the pump operates, and then also some technical documents. Product drawing will show you all the DIMs to make sure that this pump will fit into your particular system. And also it'll show you the performance curves so that you can make sure that it does exactly what you need it to do. So this will tell you the flow rate and also the pressure that they run under, and then what type of motor you would have to configure in order for that to run properly. So very easy to find the product that you need. Also, if you don't know what product you need, you can go into the configurator. So let's just look at pumps. So let's say I'm running a reverse osmosis type application, which normally runs somewhere around 240 gallons per hour. Let's see, usually the operating pressure is somewhere around 50 or 60 PSI. And let's say that my materials, I'm limited to low lead brass or stainless steel. So that just those three options, or those three configurators, got me to 2 pumps. So in 3 clicks, it's got me narrowed down to 2 pumps. So I click on, I'll do the low lead brass version. And again, it shows me the product details, specifications, technical documents. So I say, okay, I know my pump, but I'm not exactly sure what type of motor I'm going to need to put that pump on. So I have 240 PSI is my desired flow. 50 PSI is my desired pressure. So I come over here and it's 0.21, which is horsepower. So we always round up, make sure you have more power. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So now I know I can just match this pump up with a 1/4 horsepower motor. So I'll go ahead and add this to my cart. Now you'll see this green bar right here. I can go directly to my cart if I want to, or I can keep shopping. That'll disappear in a couple seconds. And then I'll go find my motor. And you'll remember that I said that I wanted a 1/4 horsepower motor, so very easy. I come over to the configurator and I say horsepower, 0.25. And then here in the States, we normally run at 100 to 120 volts. 2 clicks, I already got the correct motor, and that's a clamp-on mount. So I'll go ahead and add that to my cart. And a lot of times they're just replacing the pump or the motor, or they need a part, because you can also repair our pumps, but I'll save that for another conversation. So now I've got my pump, I've got my motor, and I just want to make sure I don't forget my clamp, which is that's the most popular part. So it's very easy to find. And I'll add that to my cart. And we'll just go ahead and go to the cart. So there you see my 3 items. There's the order total. And if I want to go to checkout, it will automatically go to my address once I'm signed in. Obviously, you have to put in your credit card. That will be verified through our payment gateway. And I just choose my shipping options. And once I do that, it will automatically calculate all the taxes as well. Taxes, shipping costs, there's my total. And if I want to go to purchase, that's when I'll enter my credit card information. You can also use other items as far as payment, but we chose to just use credit cards because when you start to get into Apple Pay and all that other stuff, it just really complicates things. But those are also available.
Nice.
Do you have any questions?
No, this is great so far. Thank you for sharing this. You know, we have a somewhat of a format we follow, but I think the big question I have is, so this looks great, but what's next? What's on the roadmap for your digital transformation?
Yeah, so what we want to do next is the European site needs a little bit of tweaking. The US side of the website has already produced hundreds of orders, which is great. And these are all just incremental orders, right? They come straight through. It's already purchased. All we need to do is fulfill it. So this is, in our opinion, just gravy, on top of the business that we already have. But we feel that getting that European site tweaked out will double our sales at least. We'd also like to eliminate. Right now, we use a third party to do the search engine, which is the model number anticipation. So we also want to integrate the Znode, which is Elasticsearch, which will eliminate some extra costs that we currently have. We also want to do an ERP integration with Epicor 10, and this will eliminate the redundancy of customer service department. Right now, when someone places an order, customer service gets signaled by Znode of the order, and they have to copy and paste all of the order information into our ERP system. So once we integrate that, that'll eliminate that step, saving time and money. And then last but not least, we want to do the B2B portal. We'd eventually like to take advantage of our major customers seeing unique pricing of their products, like I mentioned earlier, ordering directly, and then being able to track their own shipments, which again will save a lot of time for customer service. Nice.
2 more questions. One is still business related. The other one's going to be fun, but what was life like before Znode? Before you started working with Znode, what was life like?
Yeah, so before we had a third party kind of running our website, the legacy platform was purely informational, difficult to maintain, and very flat. The product information was extremely limited and general, and unable to build multiple regional storefronts. So basically, it was just purely informational. We found ourselves steering customers away from it because we were afraid that the company image was not being portrayed correctly. It didn't allow for scalability. It was very antiquated, and PROCON needed something more contemporary that would allow us to provide a better customer experience. So we're very proud of our website, and we actually push people to it all the time.
That's awesome. It's a great story. So thank you for sharing that. All right. We promised 20 to 30 minutes. We're about 22 minutes after the hour. It's summer. You have to do a lightning round of vacations. Favorite vacation spot, and where are you vacationing this summer?
So same answer for both. I actually just got back from vacation, and that's why we had to delay this webinar. But Minnesota is where I went to high school and university. I brought my kids up there. It's kind of my safe haven, but it's also, it's cooler up there. I'm in Atlanta, so get out of the 90s and get up into the 80s. but we do fun stuff. My kids love animals, so I took them to a hog farm. We got dirty, we got stinky, and they got to pick up some piglets. So it was a great time.
That's awesome. Shankar, what about you?
So my family loves to travel. We typically likes to go to Europe in summer. This summer, we actually did a little bit earlier vacation. We went in spring when the weather was nice, and then went to the beach in Mexico during the summertime.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's great. Well, we haven't taken our vacation yet. We're going to Door County, Wisconsin next for the full week, which is, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Midwest, that's the thumb of Wisconsin, just north of Green Bay, surrounded by Lake Michigan. So
We got lighthouses and cherries, right?
lighthouses, cherries, and lots of good restaurants. Yeah. We're
Very
looking forward to it. So, well, Lee, Shankar, thank you both. Great webinar. Thanks for sharing everything you did. We don't have any questions in the Q&A bubble, which is fairly common. I think you did a great job of covering all the details. But for all of you who attended today, thank you for joining us. As we discussed, this is being recorded and this will be shared at the end of the webinar via email. And please go to our YouTube channel and you can check out this webinar and all the other webinars we've had so far in 2023. And one last shameless plug. Znode's big customer event Grow is coming up. It's September 18th, 19th, and 20th. You can find information on the Znode website, but we'd love to have all of you in Milwaukee for our customer event this year. And with that, we're going to sign off. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you both.